South America had a complete system of civilization. Very self-sustaining and very successful. And far more beautiful cities than Europe. But the Europeans discovered a few, they didn't invent these things. They discovered a few things that the Chinese knew and used them. Like the gun and the gunpowder and the rockets and the compass and the sailing ship and all this shit. And when they came over here, the Mexicans or the South Americans, they thought they were God. And of course they killed off the bulk of the population with the diseases, not with their gun. And the rest of them ended up 400 goddamn years in slavery for them. We were lucky that it was Spain and not England, because the English theory was to kill them. The last American Indians killed off by the United States Army, officially. 1908, out in the state of Seattle, out in Washington State. Killed what they could, and the rest got into Mexico. Got into it. You know any Chinese? Nice, big, wonderful. They look nice, too. I know a lot of smart Germans, but I don't think they're nice. The Chinese calendar is 5,385 years. You think that Gutenberg in Germany invented the printing press in the middle of the 17th century? That's a crock of shit. The Chinese were printing with movable type 5,000 years ago. They invented the CDs 4,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago. Certificates of deposit for banks. Oh, and paper money. Oh, and windmills. And the safest fucking sailing ship ever designed today is a Chinese junk. If I was Chinese, my family come out of the clans of Scotland, and we were 400, 500 years ago, we were still painting our goddamn faces blue and walking around in kilts, okay? And all sleeping in the same bed. And the Chinese were living with silks and jades and fine furniture, and with an alphabet 4,000 years old, and the best canal systems ever existed. And mister, if I was Chinese, I'd learn Mandarin Chinese. I would master it like you couldn't believe, and I would make myself a goddamn fine living by being a Chinese American. Because they're coming back, they're going to be the dominant factor on this planet by 2050. They will run it all again, as they did for thousands and thousands of years. What do you think a progressive civilization should do with whores and sluts that have babies and dump them on the taxpayers to raise? When your mother was a young lady, if she got out and got fucked and got a kid out of wedlock, her family hid her up with the aunt someplace and God knows where, and everybody was ashamed, and this was a terrible disgrace. Today, instead of bringing her in and run a fucking DNA test on her and on the kid and find out who the guy was that fucked her and bring him in and sit him down too and say, you going to support this kid? And are you two going to get married? And if you're not, we're going to castrate him, or we're going to sterilize you, and we're going to take the kid and we'll raise it, and you're out. That's what they would have done your Mother's Day. And believe you me, her brothers and uncles and cousins would all be down there with fucking guns saying, hey, you're going to marry our sister or my niece or this and that, and if you don't want it, we're going to kill you. Welcome to the family. 2 languages, 2 countries, same thing. Morals. You don't steal your neighbor's goat. You don't pound on his little boy. Morals. But we don't have morals in this country. Fort Lauderdale, you were down in Fort Lauderdale? Mm-hmm. It's the biggest sex capital of the world for gays. You didn't get your rocks off down there?
Como les digo, algo no me vibraba bien.
Are you homosexual? Are you?
Bisexual.
Where's your what?
Huh?
Where's your what?
Oh, that's been long gone.
Where is she? Where is she?
Gone. Things happen. How about you?
I'm straight.
Absolutely straight. And you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You have a lot to be thankful for. Life is simple.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me about the lemons.
Lemons? What do you mean by the lemons? Lemon tree?
Lemons.
I don't know what's lemons.
It's a breed very similar to somewhere between rabbits and mice. Their habitat is in the Scandinavian countries. The same God that created you, or the same forms of life in this ecosystem that created you, created those lemons. And when they get to the point that the population can't be sustained by the food supply, they all go off and drown themselves by the millions in the ocean. They also, as their population increases, and you see homosexuality in that breed becomes successful. Finally, they just drop it. Follow me?
No.
When the population of any breed gets to be in excess of what its area can support, it will automatically die. And you see that as the rate of crime increases in the cities, and the population increases, and crime goes rampant, morals go to hell, and everything gets to the point that they lost all semblance of civilization. And you think this is on the basis of no? This is the ecosystem. All forms of life. In this century, I'll bet you there's been 100 million people on this planet die of starvation. On top of that, Western civilization killed off 100 million people in this war. On top of that, in this country, the American people kill off 3-4 million kids a year with abortions. My view on sexuality and on sex is very akin to the Chinese and Japanese. Whatever turns you on, as long as you don't hurt anybody else. The first time you had a sexual experience, it was with a girl or boy.
Yeah, what about you?
I was very late coming into puberty. I was almost 15. I was a real staunch Catholic kid. Never missed confession, never missed communion. Nobody ever told me anything about anything. This kid next door and I went down to the beach. We went swimming. It was getting time to go home for dinner. We went in and took a shower with fresh water and got the salt off. He reached over and grabbed me by the dick. And what are you doing? And I got a hard on. He kept playing with it. He ejaculated. I'm crawling over the goddamn place. Don't stop, don't stop. That was my first sex. And that's the way it happens. No, most guys end up getting their rocks off the first teenage guy that they grew up with. Well, this guy wrote a whole book on about 25 years ago. Human sexuality. Shocked the shit out of people. Most guys growing up end up jerking off with their friends. Girls, same way. Greek. Mediterranean Greeks, 3,000 years ago, a very advanced civilization, the most feared military power on the Mediterranean for about 1,000 years. Now, what do you think was the basic strength of that military? At 7, the boy went to the gymnasium. He stayed at the gymnasium until he finished his service in the army, and this whole thing was male, and these boys ended up with male lovers. Were very physiologically tied together, and they're all army, and they're all trained to the 9th degree. They're all trained that if we don't come out victorious, we all die. Let me tell you, when Sparta went in the field, everybody else shit a brick. We ain't talking about 1 or 2 cases. We ain't talking about isolated incidents here. We're talking about a whole fucking nation. It its whole army to homosexuality, and they lasted a long time. It took the whole fucking Turkish Empire, about 250,000 men against about 60,000. And you know who took over Greece? Rome? You couldn't name me any place in the world that homosexuality is a fact. To me, sex is like food. I was a long time, strictly, right down the road, but heterosexual. I would never get married. I've had a couple of male friends that come over once in a while, spend the night in this net, get my rocks off, we get their rocks off. See on the bounce, they go. They don't owe me, I don't owe them. It's strictly enjoyable. And we haven't committed any goddamn great marriage contract, and I got to support some son of a bitch for the next 50 years. And I got somebody tell me what books to read and what music to listen to. The best way to understand most of this stuff is to get in it. And I'm talking marriage. And you be so fucking horny that you scream with a heart on all night, and that dies. It's tired. It's the same old shit. Then they own you. They're telling you what to do, when to do it, do this and that. Nobody owns you. So keep an open mind on what you study and so that you understand in total what you study and not what anybody's telling you is right or wrong. There is no rights or wrongs in any of this. It's human nature. It is what we are. My main regret in this life is that some of the things that I've enjoyed the most, I wish the shit I had started earlier.
And what if the guy you met, like me, for example, has got AIDS or something like that?
You got AIDS?
You don't know.
No, you don't know it. The other thing, too, though, relative to homosexuality, don't you let anybody fuck you in the ass. Ever. They got good records in this country, good records in France. But the percentage of people that pick up AIDS from oral sex is minuscule. 1/3,000th of a percentage ever pick up AIDS from oral sex. They get it from anal sex, getting fucked in the ass. And I'm not saying that you would, but just, you never know. You could be on shift for 6 months and get so fucking horny you fucking ache. I envy you.
Ah, qué puto.
Everybody's throwing bullshit at you. Everybody wants to convince you that they got the answers.
Yeah.
Put your hand on your wallet, hang on tight, because they're trying to fuck you royal.
Como tú, cabrón.
Nice guy, nice human being. When you ever through this, I'm going to give you my phone number, my address, through this area again. You want a place to spend the night, you want to spend the weekend, you do more than that sharp mind, you put it to work. Don't believe anything anybody tells you. They're all selling you. We're all in one piece. I didn't rape the last night. I didn't grab you by the dick. Thank you. I like sex. Somebody doesn't want sex, they ask they do.
Güey, si yo fuera la mitad de perro con las mujeres, ya tendría mi harén. Jerry tenía el bar. Fue director general de un banco en el noreste del país. Yo no le pedí nada, pero hasta me regaló $20. Fue muy respetuoso, comí y dormí de huevos y tuve mi propia recámara. Gracias.
What's your name?
Bob West, howdy.
Enrique.
Enrique.
Lo primero que pensé fue que este viejito igual era gay, pero en él. Había sido marino mercante y había viajado por todo el mundo.
You have to have U.S. Coast Guard documents. I still have my ticket at home. It's 1947, 3 years before that. Well,
44.
yeah. Okay, that was mile 150. Now what that really means is you are 150 miles north of Miami. That's where they start measuring that. That's where 0 mile is back in Miami. And this road winds up in Boston, Massachusetts. And God knows, I don't know what the numbers are up there. I get off here, I think, at 156.
Gracias, Bob.
Forest Road, dead end. This is the address in Voorheesville that you want. I picked you up in Georgia 19 hours ago.
Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been grounded.
You've seen more of the real world, I bet.
Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer. 'Cause I understand you've been running from a man that goes by the name of the Sandman. He flies the sky like an eagle in the eye of a hurricane that's abandoned.
You ever thought when you was out Hitch Hike you'd hook up with something like this?
This is probably going to be a nightmare that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. What are you talking about? No!
No. What he'll say, I'll never hitchhike again the rest of my life.
My second wife, no.
But it's Washington Monument. Cool. It's our biggest national penis. Whoa.
I'm hungry. Wine, I hope he isn't gay.